Hey. Okay. I have been giving a lot of lip service in my emails and posts here on the gram about how my sort of pivot of my work and my kind of like space holding or oracle guiding towards long-term relationship support is not because I am innately good or talented in the relational field, but actually more because it is a place where I have historically had a lot of stickiness and a lot of struggle. I'm sort of fond of saying I had a fairly easy time awakening on the cushion, but in the relational field, I bump into my shit quite a bit. So I wanted to just come on here today and just real quick share just a little personal glimpse of where I'm bringing my modality, my way of approaching relationship into my own life. So one, I just want to be totally honest and say that I had 2 couple sessions this morning, and the sort of honor, privilege, and opportunity of sitting with these beautiful couples and holding space for them and seeing what their parts and patterns and sort of learned love stories and unconscious ways of being were bringing up in their relational field. The privilege of that for me as a human being is I'm eating my own shit all the time. Because I get off those calls and I bump into maybe static in my own relationship with my husband, quite literally. And I have to go oh, where is my energy and parts and thoughts accountable in this? So I have these morning sessions. I come out of them. I'm having some lunch. I bump into my husband in the kitchen. He's sharing some logistics with me. And I'm just extremely closed. And without going into too much detail, I've had some stuff come up in the last few days that I'm a freezer. I'm a nervous, my nervous system response to stress and upset is a freeze. So let's just take that as a fact, okay? Instead of diving into that and trying to figure it out. Okay, so I'm a freezer. So I'm in a bit of a freeze. But I do a really good job layering capacity, my just feminine capacity on top of my freeze. Okay, so here I am in the kitchen eating my food. My husband walks in. He's do you have 3 minutes to hear some logistics? He's sharing the logistics with me, and I'm a brick wall. And in my mind, I'm a brick wall because I don't like the way he's talking to me, and he's giving me too much color, and he cares more about these other people he's making plans with than me, and he cares more about this person, and why didn't he ask me this first? All the stuff is just kind of swirling. And we part ways because he had to go do something and I had to go do something. And a little while later, he's hey, I gotta leave the house in a minute, but I'm just wondering if possibly you could use a hug. And he's your body language was saying otherwise, but I've known you for a minute, so would you like a hug? And all parts of me want to be no, fuck you, I don't need a hug. But I'm okay, let me see what it's like to go get a hug. So I go meet him in his office. He offers me a hug. And again, I'm I'm a rock. I'm a brick wall. And I'm feeling my brick wallness. And again, and I'm watching my thoughts that want to make it about him. It's so compelling to make it about him. And then I'm oh, I can't really receive. I can't really feel in my own freeze. When I'm in a freeze, I can't really effectively feel or perceive or interact with my husband in the now. I'm overlaying something. I'm caught up in something. So I just close my eyes and I'm like in the hug and I'm just like breathing into my body and witnessing the freeze and allowing the freeze to be okay and working with, and I'll like fast forward here, like I just have some ways that I work with my own parts, my own regulation, my own nervous system, where like I am accountable for how I'm being. And as I start to regulate my own nervous system and tend to my own parts, the most fascinating thing happens, which is that suddenly like, oh, there's this man that I care for. Oh, actually, there's a man who like was caring for me and asked to provide me with some comfort. So like my entire projection of him putting others before me and showing me that I'm not loved is like dissolving as my like core nervous system freeze response dissolves. And it's like so humbling because there's so much safety in my system and in my sort of unconscious and in my child parts. There's so much safety for me in like being right about what's happening, being the better one, being the good one, like knowing. There's so much safety in my nervous system from that, but like going directly to the freeze, to the triggered part, working there, and like my field opens to the current reality of this time space in which there's just literally a living, breathing, heart-beating human being offering me compassion, which is essentially like love in the relational field, which is the opposite of what I was projecting him being when I was in my free state. So is everything perfect and fixed now for the rest of my life? Hell no, you know? I'll probably play that one out over and over and over again. But did I get a moment of liberation? And did that perhaps positively affect my long-term relationship? Maybe I'll ask him and report back. Okay. Sending you love. I hope this little like storytelling sesh feels supportive, because again, like I'm not trying to say that I'm able to offer some kind of a guidance from like up here. I'm not up here. I'm like in the slog. And then in the slog, there's just like these moments of beauty that are more beautiful than I would have thought were possible. So like my wish is for us all to get like that's radically available to us in the relational field, in long-term committed romantic relationship, and in all the other relational webs that we're in. Okay, bye again.